Imagine you're using your phone and all of a sudden a notification comes. ChatGPT just launched a new model. Or maybe Claude came up with a new model. Cool. Have you seen those graphs which consist of all the comparisons how these models are doing better from the past and other competitors? Maybe Grok doing better from Gemini, Anthropic, OpenAI, etc. My question to you is, how do you understand or how do you make an idea of how these models are better? The only way to do this is to test them. Now, if you ask ChatGPT 4 and ChatGPT 5 a question of what is the third law of Newton, it will get the same answer. But how do you know it has improved? Well, in AI terms, or for AI people, they do this by benchmarks. This is exactly what we are going to learn in today's video. Hi, I'm Aditya, and in today's video, we'll understand what AI benchmarks are and how these benchmarks are used to test and evaluate an AI model. Right? Now let's jump in on the whiteboard. Imagine the very first benchmark for this video is MMLU, which stands for Massive Multitask Language Understanding. You would have seen a lot of times MMLU as a benchmark. It will be displayed in a graph, and the meaning of this MMLU is it consists of 57 subjects which include maths, physics, civics, geography, economics, law, you name it. 57 subjects. The AI is being tested across all 57 subjects. The knowledge base is being tested thoroughly, and you can assume this as UPSC for AI. Just the way UPSC for India is the exam which consists of all subjects, similarly UPSC for AI is MMLU. With that being said, let's move to the next benchmark. The third benchmark for this video is HumanEval, also called as Human Evaluation. It is again developed by OpenAI, and this is a coding test, also called as programming test for AI models. So here basically what we do, we give a programming problem statement to the AI and we tell the AI to build the code or generate the code and pass all the hidden test cases. If the AI is successfully able to pass all hidden test cases, it has successfully passed the HumanEval benchmark. Imagine yourself you are in an interview and the interviewer gives a question for you to write a function to reverse a string. Now, when you write the code, there will be a set of test cases. You have to successfully cross all of those test cases and succeed in it. Once you do that, only then your code will be running and evaluated. That's the exact thing what we do at HumanEval. So this is a benchmark to test the programming understanding of the AI. Now let's move to the next benchmark. The next benchmark for this video is SWE benchmark. It means Software Engineering Benchmark. This benchmark is used to fix bugs from the AI from an open source GitHub repositories. In fact, there is a website which shows live SWE benchmarks of all the AI models. This SWE benchmark is used to understand how the AI is able to fix the bugs from an open source GitHub repository. If it is able to surpass this SWE benchmarks, that is fixing bugs from open source GitHub repositories, it has successfully passed the SWE benchmark. Now let's move to the next benchmark. The next benchmark for this video is MMMU, which stands for Massive Multidiscipline Multimodal Understanding and Reasoning. This benchmark is used to understand that AI's capabilities, how well is it able to understand images and text together. For example, graphs, maps, X-ray, medical images, engineering diagrams, how it is able to understand these all images plus text together. That is the whole purpose of MMMU. Now let's move to the next benchmark. It's called ARC-AGI, also called as Abstraction Reasoning Corpus for Artificial General Intelligence. This ARC-AGI is used to understand the hidden logic and patterns behind any problem. So during ARC-AGI benchmark testing, the AI is given certain set of questions which are IQ based. It should be able to identify the pattern, the logic, and understand it well so that it can apply those understanding and logic reasoning to new problems rather than mugging up the facts and recalling the facts. So this is what ARC-AGI benchmark does. So next time you know your AI model is reasoning well and is trying to answer with proper logic, it's because of this ARC-AGI benchmark, because the model has been thoroughly been tested for ARC-AGI. Now let's move to the next benchmark. The next benchmark for this video is GPQA, also called as Graduate Level Google Proof Q&A, question and answer. So basically GPQA is questions which are coming from science, basically physics, chemistry and biology, which combines to be science. Now you might ask that we have already witnessed physics, chemistry, biology and all this in the very first benchmark, that is MMLU, but things change over here. Basically at this GPQA benchmark testing, all the questions that come from physics, chemistry and biology are all PhD level questions. Questions which you can't easily find from just internet browsing. You need some pre-knowledge, you need some understanding, you need to think, you need to have creative answers, and you should have logic and reasoning coming together to and fro. Only then this GPQA test is able to pass. For example, questions in physics which are not being solved by scientists over a day or two, it takes months and years. Those set of questions are given to GPQA to test how well it understands these subjects, right? So that's the meaning of GPQA benchmark. So next time you put up a question on your AI model and it answers well and which is equal to a PhD level, thanks to GPQA testing, right? Now let's move to the next benchmark. The next important benchmark for this video is Chatbot Arena. Now, this benchmark is clearly been understood by just these two words, Chatbot Arena. So basically what happens is that two chatbots are given same questions, okay, and both the chatbots answer the same answer, basically answer 1, answer 2. Now what happens is that there are a bunch of humans sitting over here and they try to vote for the answer which is more accurate, best, and gives the feeling that it is proper, right? Hence both the answers are correct, but humans try to vote and try to find out the answer. Now the closest form of this test is also visible on some day-to-day conversation with ChatGPT where I've seen. What it does is that it gives you two responses for the same question, right? It will give you response 1, response 2, and it will tell you to choose the response which you're most likely to, or which you're most likely happy with, right? That's the response you'll choose, and that is a to and fro feedback you're giving to the model to improve itself. So that's what Chatbot Arena is. It's a simple benchmark, but this is done by humans. Answers are being generated by the chatbots, questions are same, and a voting system happens, and exactly we try to find out which gets the most answers, which gets the less points, and we try to balance it out, right? That's what Chatbot Arena is all about. Now let's move to the next benchmark. The ninth benchmark for this video is AIME, which stands for America Invitational Mathematical Examination. It was originally created for high school students, and this is to test your mathematical understanding for problems which require higher than just simple maths. It requires calculation, it requires high amount of understanding and correct approach to solve the problem. Now, this is a similar version of GPQA, but only for maths, right? So this is to test the AI's capabilities for questions which require more than just calculation, right? So this is LiveCodeBench. That is the last and the final benchmark for this video. It is basically a benchmark where the AI is being fed all the newly discovered programming problems. It has been given these problems to understand its tackling abilities, how it approaches and how it solves the newly discovered programming problems. So it is a coding benchmark where AI's capabilities are being tested for programming only problems, right? So this was LiveCodeBench, and the next time you see your AI is able to do flawlessly solve new problems, it's because of LiveCodeBench, because this tests the AI for the new problems only, right? So that was all about all the 10 benchmarks. I'll be coming up again with the further benchmarks as well. Hope you have learned something new from this video. So the next time you see a graph competing all the 3-letter and 4-letter words with the AI models on top of it, you know what they mean. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like this video, hit the like button, comment down your thoughts, and please subscribe my channel. I come up with all AI stuff and AI learnings. With that being said, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, Keep watching, keep learning, and keep making the world a better place. Before you go, some words of wisdom from Nawal. Inspiration is perishable. Act on it immediately. Thank you so much. Bye bye.